Good evening. This is Shannon from Profit Maker Ag. Now, we got two subjects tonight. The first one, Dr. Seuss. I realistically never considered in my lifetime that our political system would be so unbelievably broken that they would actually ban Dr. Seuss. Good evening, Brett. It absolutely boggles my mind that with all the issues, everything going on in this country in the last year, 14 months, that this is a priority that we need to ban Dr. Seuss, which has enlightened, taught kids to read for generations. And people are allowing this to happen. People are allowing our government to dictate to us stupid crap. Folks, there is nothing racial about Dr. Seuss. And any media, any educated idiot that lives in his ivory tower in the clouds and doesn't have one foot in reality wants to try to tell you all their pie in the sky garbage. Folks, if they continue to try to shove this crap down your throat, you'll believe anything. So, on to the program tonight. I just had to get that out there in the open. I think this is just an absolute piece of garbage legislation, once again, or idea coming from Washington, D.C., from our ignorant, elitist politicians. So, tonight's real program, now that I've got that off my chest, pretty sure. Now, we know in agriculture that there are really no certainties. I mean, yes, there are a few. We know that spring is going to follow winter, and then summer and fall, we're going to harvest. We know that we're going to pretty well plant in the spring. We're going to put weed in the fall, and we're going to harvest one of those crops. We know that when we turn our bulls in, that a certain amount of days we should get a calf. We know that when we plant a certain number of or a certain date hybrid, we know about when it's going to mature. And we know if we don't fertilize it that we aren't going to maximize our genetic potential. But realistically, there are a lot of things that can happen between planting and harvest. There's a lot of things that can happen between turning the bull out and getting a calf, hopefully. But what are we doing in the meantime that takes those pretty sure things into the realm of mostly certain? Let me throw out an idea to you tonight. I would say let's get into the realm of uncertainty. Let's try some different things. Let's see if some things work. Had a great conversation this evening, late afternoon here, with a young lady. And we got to discussing livestock and ranching and cows, which, get me on cows, we can probably talk most of the night. But we got to talking about watering systems, ponds, rotational grazing, and some of the benefits that can be attained from those. We know that if we rotational graze, we can we're mostly certain that we are going to extend our grazing seasons. We're going to get more grass. We can wean more pounds per acre. And we know that if we put a watering system in our pond and we fence it off and keep the cows out, that we are going to extend the life of that pond. And our cattle are mostly certain to do better because they're going to get cleaner water. Now, a lot of that has some variability too, depending on where the pond is, what's draining into the pond, and how that water is quality-wise from what's draining in it. But we're mostly certain that we are going to get a better quality water for our livestock. Now, on the crop side, we need to go into that realm of uncertainty and try some things. We need to look at different practices, different ways of doing it, different fertility. Listen to podcasts, and then do your own research. Look at magazines, look at research, and then dig in and see what you find out from other sources. And then go out and try it on your own operation. Because then you can move from that realm of uncertainty to mostly certain it's either going to work on your operation or it doesn't work on your operation. It's going to cost you money. I kind of ran out of stories, but we need to move into that realm of mostly certain so that we start to figure out the things on our operations that can benefit us, that can profit us. And I would also tell you that we need to start realizing what our limitations are, what we're not so good at. And we need to fill those gaps in with people that excel at those places so that we start to build up the foundation of pretty sure to mostly certain. And then we can build on that so that we have the potential to add more certainty to our farming and ranching operations. So here's the questions tonight. What are some of your limitations? What are some things that you're just either not as good as you could be, or you just really, 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 really don't like doing? Can you find some people to fill in those gaps that are going to excel and help you build an even more solid foundation to grow from? The second question is, what are some things you're uncertain about that you could try this year on your farming and ranching operations? Some things that would enable you to move some things into that mostly certain category. Just 2 questions tonight, something to think about, something to consider. Now I'm going to leave you with a quote from Ed Mylett. If you don't enjoy the small bites of success, you won't take another bite. So folks, we can try some things. And if we're successful, we are going to take another bite. If we're not successful, we'll still have the confidence to try something new, hopefully. Because education is never done. Learning is never done. School is never out in the ag industry. Folks, everybody have a great night. Kind of a short video tonight. Britt, awesome to have you on. And you're exactly right. Sometimes we have to spend money to make money. But we have to make sure the ROI is there when we do it. Have a great night.